As I always say, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you're tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name is Kellam, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being somebody in the crypto ecosystem that's trying to better themselves. The smarter people we have, the more people that have an understanding of what's going on in this market, the stronger this market becomes. So shout out to everybody that's here in chat. If you have not yet, we're getting this stream started quick. Getting it started early. We got 59, 60 concurrent viewers, 27 likes. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. We've got a lot to cover today. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. 40% pump. How can we even predict that there could be a 40% pump in the market cap? We've got a lot of different things going on within the markets right now. We're seeing the markets just opened. NASDAQ is looking like it's trying to break out of this rising wedge. We got the Dow Jones pushing higher, S&P 500. Look at this, the dollar index falling. This is good news for markets. We got the total 3. Look at this. This is the crypto, basically altcoin market cap. If we kind of come over here and look at this, it looks like we are attempting a breakout of this massive downtrend. If we zoom out here, this is why I say it's a massive downtrend. Multi-year downtrend or year plus downtrend. So there's a lot of things setting up right now. Dogecoin got set loose yesterday. Is that kicking the bulls into gear? Well, we've got a lot to talk about from Bitcoin and Cardano and GRT and Algorand, and we got Avalanche and Gala and Filecoin, Hedera. Throw in chat the different coins that you're interested in. Throw in chat. Have you DCA'd? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you still waiting? And hit that poll. I want to see how many people have been watching from the beginning. If you're new here, we welcome everybody into this community. This is a community of empowerment, of engagement, of growth. This is not a channel where we have trolls. This is all about how we can share our experiences so that we can dominate these markets together. So again, coming back to the mainstream, how's everybody doing? How are you feeling? Have you hit that like button? Have you hit that subscribe button and joined our community? Well, we've got a lot to talk about today. And of course, if you're not aware, then I think that you don't own a computer, but you're on here, so you do own a computer. But as we can see, if we come back over here, we got this little Doge symbol. Is this a troll? Is this something that Elon is just trolling the world, or is this some indication? Well, we're not going to really know until more things play out, and if maybe Dogecoin is one of the basket of altcoins. I don't think it'll be the only one. Maybe it's one of the basket of cryptos and digital payment options to engage with on Twitter, whether it's to pay tips, to transact. There's no telling what's going to happen. Elon is as much of a troll sometimes as he is a master chess player with the moves that he makes for the different businesses that he runs. But this has caused a huge spike in just speculation and just news media attention around what's going on with crypto. And we saw, of course, a huge, massive spike in Dogecoin yesterday. But barring Dogecoin, I'm more interested, and this is not to say anything against anybody that holds Dogecoin. I'm more interested in the entire crypto ecosystem. So is this a foreshadowing of what's to come here in the month of April, before the sell in May, walk away sort of mindset? Is that something that's going to play out? We also talked yesterday about what's going on with oil. If you're tuned in right now today, April 4th, stick around, because we're going to be breaking down a lot of strategies, a lot of TA of what's going on in the markets. But if you're watching this later on today or in 3 months from now, that's okay. These streams, every BitLab stream, breaks down concepts, breaks down definitions, breaks down strategies. So whatever's happening in the markets today, it is going to be relevant to you even 6 months from now in terms of the strategies that we're deploying, the ways that we're grasping what's going on in the market so that we can dominate market moves. So we're talking about bullish setups today, how we can position ourselves, strategies that we can utilize, and how we can forecast what's happening in the market so that we can be in the best position. So again, my name is Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. Make sure you follow me there, which is at Kellam, KELLYKELLAM on my Twitter. And definitely come over here to the BitLab Academy page, which is right here at BitLab Academy. You can see this is the correct page. We're up to about 2,000 followers. We only, basically about the beginning of this year started really posting on here. So this is growing rather nice, but come, and this looks like it's the same thumbnail as yesterday. It's just because YouTube has an issue. There is a correct thumbnail, but come and share retweet today's tweet, whether you're watching today or later on this week. Throughout the week, every one of the daily promos that we do on Fridays, we pick we basically run a randomizer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It picks a day, and then we do a random name picker from all the different people that retweet this. And this is for a variety of different prizes. It could be lifetime membership to the courses, could be lifetime membership to the indicators, could be both, could be multi-month membership to either. So come and retweet this, help spread the word of BitLab Academy, and also help people get a better education. And let's just go ahead and dive in. What are we talking about today? We are talking about those strategies that we can deploy so we can forecast market movements. Why do we want to do this? Well, you have to remember price action on a chart is it's a little bit of a lagging indicator because we're seeing the action as it has played out. However, what we can see within that price action on a chart allows us to forecast and read shifts in momentum. And when there is different technical indicators like the RSI or divergences or momentum shifts in trend, when they're happening on larger time frames or smaller time frames, and how we can best position ourselves to take advantage of market movement so we can be profitable in this market and not trade emotionally. That's what this is all about. So what we are going to do today is we are going to look at a bunch of different signals from on-chain data as well as technical data in the price action, and try to, just really break down how we can forecast what may be occurring and how we can position ourselves for that. So let's just go ahead and dive in here. If you haven't yet, get involved in the chat. Let us know where you're from. As I said, last thing you DCA'd into, if there's something you're still waiting to DCA, if they're interested in any altcoins, get involved in the chat. Also, if you have any sticking points or any specific questions you'd like me to answer, as I said yesterday, I'm trying to make it a point to get involved with the chat. And also, if you're watching over at the 24/7 stream on Hit Network 1, if you haven't been there, check it out because we got crypto content going on there all day long, every day. But also make sure you come over here to all the socials that you can see down here for BitLab Academy. Come and watch us live on our stream as well, which is right over here at BitLab Academy, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. We're coming up just shy of 6,000 followers now here in just a couple of months. So really big shout out to the community. As it looks right now, all I can see is one of the metrics on the poll. About half the people that are here right now have been watching from the start. So big love and appreciation to all you. And I can't say this is not something I'm doing alone. We got the entire Hit Network behind me, but then most of this is all about you, all you here in the community. So let's go ahead, dive into some of these metrics and talk about what the heck is going on. So let me just make sure everything is happening here. Boom. Okay, this is going live. Just want to make sure all's good. Okay, now let's go ahead and dive into these metrics. What are we looking at? Well, first thing I want to look at is, okay, look at this. So we have supply last active, the on-chain metrics. Some people don't like on-chain metrics, and I cannot understand why, because it gives such an incredible lens into the market, and more specifically, the market behaviors of different type of participants, long-term holders, short-term holders, large wallets, small wallets, adoption. You get to see shifts in trend in behavior, which those key sort of movements can help you really forecast changes in macro trend and really understand what's happening in the market. So we're seeing right here, this is, I'm going to take my face off here so you can see, we can see right here, supply last active 2 to 3 years. This means coins being held for over 2 to 3 years. And we're seeing as this sort of bottoms out here, meaning the coins are being held. Okay. We're seeing as this bottoms out, we're seeing a lot of selling coming here. And as this sort of bottoms out and there's a rounding in the bottom, this correlates very heavily to the end of a bear market. Similarly here, we had a long period here of just a lot of patience. There's a lot of maturity coming into the market. We see this as well right here. But as this sort of rises, this is rising as in correlation with what's happening with price action. And so what I want you to take note of, a really great metric that we can look at here. This is at looknode.com, which has a ton of free content, free on-chain metrics, which are excellent. So come over here and check this out. Sorry. And we can come over here to my favorites, come down to the, where is RHOLD, the R HODL. Do I have it on here? It's kind of come up here. R HODL. If it's not on here. Okay, here we are. So we can see right here, essentially what we're looking at on this chart. This is the ratio of long-term holders in the market versus short-term holders. When there's a disproportionate number of short-term holders, we have a weak market. When there's a disproportionate number of long-term holders, we have a likely market bottom, because that's where you're getting a lot of strength. Long-term holders are not, basically capitulating and selling out of emotion and fear. They are accumulating. This is short-term holders selling. This coming down means that the short-term holders, the weak hands, are capitulating out of the market. And when we're down here, we have a high, basically ratio, strong amount of strength coming into the market. And this is why we get a market floor. And we see that this has happened. We even got a retest here that we had this basically floor, and then we had the FTX crash, and then we kind of dipped back into this. So there's some short-term holders coming in, and then everybody capitulated, got just back into very strong setup. And we're seeing a movement up out of this range, similar to as we had back here in March of 2019, push up out of this. And even as this pushed up and peaked, we had a little bit of a sideways action on this ratio. So is this something that we can see here? We've talked about this a lot on this channel, the likelihood of having, let's come back over here to my page. We've talked about this a lot, having something where we have a push up like 2019, which would be this right here. Let me take this off, which would be this push up right here, pre-cycle halving, and then a pullback. Okay, are we going to have something like this, or are we going to have sideways action? Are we going to change everything? All we can do is forecast what's happening. All we can do is forecast what's happening in the market based on what's happening with the on-chain data, the behavior, adoption rates, news, all these things. And so we can position ourselves to not trade emotionally. So what are we looking at? Well, one of the things I want to look at right now is this chart here on Glassnode. We can also see it on Looknode, but I like this look right here. What I want you to notice here, this is the exchange net position change. This is a critical chart that we need to be aware of as to what's happening in the behavior of the market. Are people preparing to sell? Are they preparing to hold or hold long term? And how can we tell that by looking at this chart? Well, I also want to point out all of the content that we've been working so hard on, and we're not going to stop working on it. There's going to be new content being recorded ongoing for the next few years. I'm even going back to Atlanta in about 2 weeks to film a bunch more content, but we've got an entire on-chain data course, trading fundamentals, psychology of trading, candles, candle patterns, all the stuff you need to know for technical analysis, trading strategies, psychology of trading. Self-custody. There's so much coming to the new BitLab Academy site, and that is this is what it's going to look like. And we haven't even populated all the courses in here, but there's so much more, all brand new content. I'm telling you, come and get involved on bitlabacademy.com. You sign up for this newsletter right here. You also get entered to win a free month access to courses and indicators, as well as getting free content that we send out on a regular basis. That has been paused for the last 2 weeks as we've been tying everything together for BitLab Academy update. But the prices are going up for the BitLab Academy courses, and with membership, you get access to every course we have and all the new courses, as well as a premium Discord that we have. So the prices are going up, but everybody that's involved, everybody that becomes a member before that those updates come out here in the matter of days, you basically get grandfathered in. You get to keep the lower rates. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, talking about what's going on here with this metric. And again, the on-chain course, I'm so excited about everybody that's a member that gets to go through this course, because it helps you understand why these are good areas to buy and why these are good areas to sell. understanding the market dynamics and the behaviors of smart money versus dumb money. None of us want to be dumb money. If you want to be smart money, if you want to make better trade decisions, in the chat, put smart money. Put that in a comment. Say smart. When you're ready to make better decisions, comment in the chat. Let me know that you want to make better decisions. And no matter where you're at in your journey, if you're a beginner or a pro, this stream has something for everybody. We have alpha for the pros, and we throw that rope back to beginners. So stick around. We're going to be breaking down a lot of stuff throughout this stream. This stream is meant for today and as evergreen, because there's going to be concepts that we're talking about throughout this entire stream. So what we're seeing here, looking at the exchange net position change, is people's movement of coins from their private custody, meaning their private held wallets, basically not being held in their exchange account. You know, when you're looking at Coinbase and you look at my assets, that's on exchange. And there's a heavy correlation when there's a lot of behavior of coins moving onto exchange, that there's people setting up to sell. Because yes, you can do peer-to-peer trading. I can send from my wallet to your wallet, but the majority of trading of crypto happens, happens on exchange. So if there's a large movement or a large spike, as we can see right here, this is a great example. A lot of coins coming off exchange, and we see price action moving up. Now we see a lot of coins coming onto exchange, starting this behavior right here starts to move up right here as price is going flat. We can see this area right here. Oops. Let me zoom back out. We can see this area right here. I'm actually going to zoom in. We can see this area right here as coins, the amount of coins coming off exchange starts to dramatically increase right here, decrease, coming back to the zero line. And this sets up to right here, all these coins come on exchange, come onto exchange, and we get a sell-off. So what we can also look is the inverse of that is when we see coins, look at this. A lot of coins coming off exchange, but then a lot of coins coming on exchange, and we see this continued sell-off until we get to the very end of this Wyckoff spring, this Wyckoff sort of drop right here, which the Wyckoff price action is another key sort of price action structure, which is very important to understand. And we'll be breaking down on this channel in another video. But what we're seeing is all of a sudden we see this sharp decline in coins coming onto exchange, preparing to sell. Sharp decrease here until we see coins coming off of exchange. It's almost like this becomes like a trampoline for price to then move higher. What we're seeing right here, very similarly, you see this during the sell-off, we have this large green wave. Well, we had this price action push up, okay, right into this $25,000 level. And then we have this large increase, a shift in trend right here where there's a lot of people taking profit at this level. If we come over to our chart, right here, come to Bitcoin, this would be relevant to this macro support. When price action comes into the zone, we see on the glass node, we see on-chain data, we can see right here that people are moving their coins onto exchange right here, already starting all the way back at this point, preparing to sell, to take some profits, preparing to take advantage of this price action to the upside. Some people are just people that bought down here and got the price action came back up. Some people are people that were holding from around this level, and they're so frustrated with this downside price action that they finally get out when they get back to zero. There's a variety of different reasons for this, but we're seeing this. But what is interesting here is, what are we seeing right here? And if we zoom in, look at this sharp decline right here into coins coming off of exchange. This is onto exchange, sharp decline into coins coming off of exchange. And we see right here, we're seeing the same setup coming off of basically sharp decline in coins going onto exchange. And now we're getting that flip to where the coins are now coming off of exchange on average. This is a bullish setup for Bitcoin. Now, we talked a little bit about what happened yesterday. If we come over to CoinMarketCap, we can see, let's go ahead and reload this because I loaded this up earlier. We can see here, if we go to 30-day change, we've had a lot of coins making some strong movements over the last 30 days. 178% up for Solar, SXP, Conflux, Mask, Injective, XDC, XRP, 33% move on the speculation that the lawsuit may be coming to an end. A lot of pent-up bullish energy there if that does come to a positive resolution. Dogecoin, up 30. Look at this, up 29% in the last 30 days. But in the last 70 days, in the last 7 days, up 36%. Let's actually look at this right here. Solar is still up the most, but in the top 10, we've got the highest growth is Dogecoin, up 36%. Of course, this is very heavily attributed to the fact that if you come over here and look at this, we got the Doge symbol on Twitter. So there's a lot of just press, news media discussion about what this could mean. And this sent a flood of liquidity into Dogecoin. And we're seeing this represented in the markets right now. So if we come over here, just press this, have this ordered by the size of market cap, we can see that Dogecoin is, I mean, absolutely outperforming everything all the way down. Let's see how far down we need to go. Ooh, all the way down. I mean, all the way down. Geez, past 60, even Frax, all the way down to we get to number 90 on CoinMarketCap. So that the solar is a little bit more of an anomaly. It's a smaller coin market cap. It's easier to have larger moves, but this is in the top 10. It's number 8, and it had a 35% move. And this we can see is kicking the gears of the liquidity and what's happening when we're looking at markets. And we can see this when we zoom in here. This is the total market cap for altcoins. I'm going to go ahead and move this, and we can see this is not ready, set, fully go yet, but this is showing that we're on the precipice. I cannot speak this morning. We are on the precipice of a likely very strong altcoin move. We've had that liquidity shift. We've had that. We've seen the map of how it flows from Bitcoin into Ethereum and then into altcoins. And in this case, what we're seeing, Bitcoin did make a large move, but because of the nature of what's happening with Dogecoin could be kicking the gears of the altcoin market, because as much as, 2 years ago or even a year and a half ago, I was even one of the people saying, when I was talking about I was in crypto to other people, to a stranger, and they'd be like, oh yeah, man, I'm into Doge. In my mind, I had judgments. I have to turn off my heater because my legs are cooking. Yo, I'm into Dogecoin. I used to laugh in my head. I was like, that's just a meme stock. But we have to acknowledge now that Dogecoin has been around since I think 2013. So as much of a meme stock as it may be, it is tied in with some very heavy hitters now. Elon Musk being, the sort of heavy hitter in that sort of Doge community, but also it does have some legacy. It's been around longer than nearly every altcoin out there. I believe Dogecoin has been around longer than Ethereum as well, and it has been riding in the top 10 for a long, long time. So we've got to give it some credit, a little more than we used to have judgments about, because it does have the community behind it, and it does have a huge amount of liquidity. I mean, it's got that's volume. Geez, we've $13 billion currently. Huge. I mean, it has more market cap than Polygon, Solana, Polkadot, everything below it. All the Avalanche. So we've got to give it some due. But what I really am interested in here, based on what we're talking about today, is not the Doge pump. What I want to talk about, hit that like button. If you are in here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. Let's get these likes up. Let's let YouTube know that you are interested in the crypto content we're doing here, so that we can get this pushed out in the algorithm to more people. It's the easiest way you can help support the crypto ecosystem is hitting that like button and subscribe button on any channel you're watching doing crypto. So, and shout out to everybody here in chat as well. Really, I appreciate everybody being in here. Now, what we want to talk about today is jump starting. Like, how do you forecast this jump start in liquidity in the market? Well, Bitcoin is the preeminent sort. Let's just call it this. It's the largest market cap of all coins in the crypto market ecosystem. Why do we say that? Well, we talk about this a lot when we're talking about dominance, and we can see right here, if as it reads on CoinMarketCap, the aggregate here. Shout out Mr. Matt C, $49 super chat, man. I should say $49.99. I appreciate the super chat. Hey BitLab fam, can't stay long. Just wanted to drop in, say hi, and thank all of you here and listening, and the investor bros. Yeah, shout out to the investing bros family, T Shroom and Tim Warren. family, for the well wishes. I truly appreciate it. Miss all you crazy degens. Dude, shout out to you. I don't know what the resolution is with that doggy family member, but dogs are as big a part of our family as some of our family members. So big love to you. And I really appreciate the super chat. Thank you for supporting me and being in my community the last couple years through the different channels I've been on. And shout out to everybody and all the mods here in chat as well. King Peasant, King Peasant, we need to make you a mod. You're always here. I'm going to make you a mod right now. King Peasant, we got managing standard margin. Brad Guidell, Crimson Caravan Company, Alex Green, my head honcho here, also part of the BitLab team. Who else we got? We got so many people in here. I just shout out to everybody. Let's keep this stream rolling. Alrighty. So we want to follow the liquidity and understand how we can forecast what's happening in the market. When Bitcoin being the largest market cap of the crypto ecosystem, we see right now we're just about 1.1, almost 1.2 trillion dollar market cap for all the crypto out there. And we're seeing right now roughly a 45% dominance for the beginners. What is dominance? Well, if we are at nearly $1.2 trillion market cap, and we can see right here with Bitcoin, there's a $544 billion worth of liquidity in Bitcoin alone. That means there's 45% of the entire crypto ecosystem. 45% of that liquidity is in Bitcoin alone. And so Bitcoin is sort of Bitcoin and secondarily then Ethereum. Bitcoin is thought of or considered the lowest risk asset, within the crypto ecosystem. It's the blue chip. It's because it has the most liquidity in it. It's not typically going to be as volatile as something that say, come all the way down here, DYDX or Kava or Engine Coin. And I'm not saying anything negative about these coins, but if Bitcoin has 544 billion, look at this. Engine Coin has 407 million. That is a exponential difference. So when we see liquidity start pouring into Bitcoin, as we've seen right here, look at these large, basically since the beginning of this year, we can go since the beginning of this year, Bitcoin has seen nearly over 70% pump. Okay. This is showing that there's interest coming back into the crypto ecosystem. And as that I don't want to call it certainty, but as the risk mindset starts to catalyze and people are feeling more comfortable about deploying their money in the crypto ecosystem, specifically in Bitcoin, then that catalyzes, more speculation within riskier assets, which is going down that coin market cap ranking, or CoinGecko or Masari.io, whatever you're looking at to see that coin market cap ranking. And this is why you see liquidity flow from Bitcoin making strong moves, and then you start having this oscillation between Bitcoin making strong moves, and then you start seeing the other parts of the crypto ecosystem. This is why we've been watching so specifically this dominance here, because this is liquidity predominantly coming into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is moving faster than the altcoin markets. Now, there could be specific smaller altcoins that are running, but we're seeing Bitcoin dominate. And then when this moves down, this is alt season. This is when altcoins are pumping like crazy. When we see this pumping, Bitcoin is dominating. When we see this dropping, altcoin season. So what we're seeing here is a setup for altcoin season. Now, that, as I've said on this channel many times, I have to say it again because there's always new participants in the crypto ecosystem, and there's also a chance that maybe you haven't heard it. So I want to say this being pushed up here, this has obviously been trading in this range, support and resistance. This does not mean Bitcoin cannot go above here. It very well could. But if we're understanding technical analysis or trying to understand it and trying to figure out how we can best allocate our funds, this is looking like a potential setup for very, very strong push within the altcoin market. This is why the last week or two I've been definitely doing TA on Bitcoin, but I've been trying to make sure that we're looking at a variety of a basket of different altcoins and see which projects are setting up to move stronger against Bitcoin, which assets are setting up to have those epic runs, especially if we are likely to get any sort of run that happens like this with Bitcoin and then a pullback and then a push up, because the same thing, a very likely setup, is going to happen within the altcoin market, meaning we are likely going to get some sort of strong bullish continuation, whether it's up to 34 or 38 or 42 with Bitcoin. We'll have to see how the market plays out because there's so much FUD right now. Even this false FUD about Bitcoin, about Interpol, doing some notice that they're going to arrest at Binance. That immediately when that's we see markets drop, and then immediately when that's recognized as being a false FUD statement, it's not true. Then the markets skyrocket back up. That's what we're seeing play out over the last 24 hours. But if you're watching this in the future, that's okay. What we're trying to catalyze here is this move, being able to take some profits, let this move back down, deploy more capital at a lower price, and getting basically some exponent or exponential amount more within our bags to really capitalize on this strong movement in Bitcoin and in altcoins. So we're looking at this. Dominance is coming up here. It's up at this upper range, looking like it very well could have some sort of move to the downside, or whether it be downside or sort of pause here. If there's some sort of pause here or a move to the downside, then we can come over here and look at, let's turn off caps lock, look at this right here, this total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the total 3. All you need to do is click on your chart and then just type in total 3, and it will pull up. This is a total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, showing you the index of all altcoins out there. Now, this doesn't mean, for instance, we see on the thumbnail for today, we see this plus 40%. Where am I getting that? This had nothing to do. I cannot speak today. This had nothing to do with Dogecoin. What I'm speaking about here is if we look at the total crypto market cap and we see this inverse head and shoulders, and we take a measured move from the neckline down to the deepest part of this head part of the formation of this inverse left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we move this over to the neckline breakout, and we take a measurement tool and we come right here and we come up to the top of this tool. That's roughly just about 40% move for the entire altcoin market. That is the potential that we're looking at right now. And if we're just on the precipice, yes, we've seen some strong movements. We've seen some strong movements in altcoins. I mean, look at, let's come over here. Let's look at, for instance, let's go out of Bitcoin, looking at GRT. Let's go to auto. Let's go to 3 days. Okay. So from the lows here, this is the lows right here. We have already seen to the peak. We've seen a roughly 200% gain in GRT, the graph. Now we've seen a little bit of a pullback, but we're still up about 150, 130 about 140 to 150% from the cycle lows. But this is going to pale in comparison of where the markets can go when we see this massive move from the aggregate, the index of the entire altcoin market. And this is not including Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the rest of the altcoin market. So this is why it's so important when we're sitting on the precipice right here of a push up. And I got this green line drawn here, very likely push up for the entire crypto market cap. Likely a bit of a cool off because we have a lot of support and resistance in this price region directly above us. So maybe a little bit of a pause here, continuation up, maybe a little struggle, continue. This is have that stair step to the upside, but we need to be in position. We need to see what's going on there. So I want to just take a little bit of a break here. Shout out everybody. We got 201 concurrent viewers, 112 likes. Let's get those likes up. And I just want to shout out everybody that I see so many names that are here on a regular basis all the time. So I really appreciate everybody being here. GS, been seeing you in the crypto community for a couple of years now. Matt C, again, shout out to you. Thank you for coming back. I know you got stuff going on in your life. Jeanette, how you doing? Total Clinic Solutions, got all the solutions. Karen Swigart Harris, Granny's Garden, Brian D, a Mellow Fellow, and again, my boy Alex Green. Tenacious B, how you doing? So let's go ahead and continue this. Have you put the coins in chat that you're interested in? Get those, and my team is going to shoot over on Discord on the live stream alerts. Let me know some of the most common coins people are posting in here. We're going to be breaking down a lot of these things because we want to capitalize on these markets. Now, let's look at what's going on here. we've got this set up on the total 3. And I want you to notice here, this is something that's very important when you're doing TA. Let's go to the 3-day. We have not one, but 2 very strong bullish chart formations, candle patterns. We have a falling wedge, which has about a 68, a little short of 70% chance of breaking to the upside. So this is a more bullish structure, okay? Not only is this a more bullish structure on a macro, we also saw Bitcoin already break out of this structure. Bitcoin basically being the leader in this space with the amount of liquidity and the dominance that it has. So it's kind of indicating the direction that the market is likely to move. So we have those 2 factors already. This structure being bullish, Bitcoin already breaking out of a very similar structure. I mean, look at Bitcoin's structure. You know, let's look at Bitcoin's structure on the 3-day. See this? Giant falling wedge, broke out bullish. Now come back over here, giant falling wedge, and we're just on that on that position of likely breaking out bullish. And we have an inverse head and shoulders here. So we have a lot of confluence showing that there is strength coming into the space, but we have to meter ourselves with humility and patience, because this is a time that most of the people, and I have been this person in the past, and I'm sure you have, throw a 1 in chat if you've ever been shaken out on silly FUD in the market only to have the market explode right after you got out and you realize that you got shaken out because you were trading emotionally. Throw a 1 in chat. Let me know. Let everybody else know. This is a community thing. Let other people know that, you know, that it's not just you. It's not just you that when you sell, the market explodes, and when you buy, the market goes down. The problem isn't you in those scenarios. It's not some self-fulfilling prophecy. The problem is poor strategy and poor humility and a poor mindset, literally having the mindset of a poor person. We need to not grasp at profits, and we need to not fear losses. We need to be agnostic of all that and look at these charts and see the setups that are brewing before our eyes, because massive life-changing wealth is at your fingertips if you can let go of your emotions and you can engage a strategy and you can forecast on a longer term period, which we can see here. This is setting up for bullish, very strong bullish price action. I mean, this is total crypto market cap for altcoins. Let's go. This is a March 2020 sell-off right here. Let's go once it about stabilizes from this. This is, I mean, this is the total market cap, almost a 2,000% gain. Now, there were some cryptos within some altcoins within the crypto market that did 4,000, 5,000, 6,000%. Some only did 200 or 300%. This is why portfolio allocation and having a wide variety of things that you're holding, in your portfolio, diversifying, having good risk management by having a basket of different layer 1 altcoins, different gaming tokens, different layer 2 solutions, some metaverse plays, some infrastructure plays, having that wide variety of basket, because there's no telling what's going to move. Try to identify ones that are within your passion, like things that you believe in. Things that you have the not courage, but the incentive because you care about to give you the fuel that you need to sit and read and do your diligence, not just watch this stream. I will give you an amazing amount of different tools and strategies, but this is not financial advice. This is breaking down things that I've learned from a number of different people and also the many years that I've been in this. But this channel alone, and also BitLab Academy, is but one tool that you need to utilize within your own due diligence so that we can capitalize, boom, on this move. And this move right here, this giant upside price action for the entire crypto, basically altcoin market, we are setting up for that next move. Now, if we delete this and we come from the top here, Option F, from the top to the bottom, we can see right here that we are set up with the Fibonacci extension here from where we're at. I mean, if we go from the lows, let's go to the measuring tape. If we go from the lows all the way up to the 2.618, which would be a sort of conservative, consistent extension of where we can go to, that would be a 744% gain. I think one of the things that we need to take into account, and I'm not trying to do moon boy math, what I'm trying to show is that as I mentioned the other day on stream, let me see if I can come back here. I mentioned the other day, and by the way, if you're not following Willy Woo, definitely come over and follow Willy Woo. This right here, we are so early in Bitcoin adoption. And if we're so early in Bitcoin adoption, then we're even earlier in the development. I don't even want to call it adoption because there's still a lot of development in the altcoin space. There's a lot, and you've got to be aware of this. There's a lot of altcoins that can provide an insane amount of profits. But there's going to be a lot of altcoins that are pump and dumps. There's going to be scams out there. There's going to be, there's only going to be out of the 30,000 or so crypto market altcoins that are in the crypto ecosystem right now. In 15 years, I would think that of the ones that are currently developed, there's going to be new ones continually developed and new communities, new projects, new protocols, new utility, all sorts of different functions. Of the ones that are currently out there, let's say for easy math, let's say there's 30,000 that are currently out there. In 15 years, I would think that maybe 1,500 of those, are still around. Some will have issues, some will be adopted, some will just completely get rugged, some will be regulated out. There's so many different aspects of this crypto market that you need to be aware of. There are incredible gains to be made, but they will only be made if you remove your emotion from it and you allow yourself to trade. I have something like a hair or something on me. And you allow yourself to trade with a healthy strategy, with good risk management, and your ability to not be married to any asset. Bitcoin will be around. Ethereum very likely be around. The top 10. Now we have to be very patient when we say this, because Luna was in the top 10 and it completely basically went to zero because of when they got squeezed by everything happening 2021. But we've got to pay attention to these coins that are in the top 10, the top 25, the top 50. The further we go down the list, the less likely those coins are going to be around. And some of those coins that are in the down in the 300s, very likely, have the potential of, rocketing it up. And for instance, if Filecoin gets huge adoption for decentralized storage, could rocket up and, end up in the top 15. All these things are going to change. So you need to have active management of your portfolio. So I know you're all interested in, okay, we're talking about the concept and theory and strategy, but we want to look at some charts, and we're going to be going back and forth between charts and how we talk about how we're balancing these things in our portfolio. So let's go ahead and break down. I got some charts here. We're just going to be going through a number of different things here, using a variety of different indicators, including the BitLab trading stack, as well as some traditional indicators. I want everybody to understand what's going on. And if you have questions, throw them in the chat, throw them down below. If you're watching this later, we go through these, and I really do try to tailor these streams, not just about the price action of the day, but the strategies that you can deploy over the rest of your lifetime within not only crypto, but trading in general and investing. Okay, so let's go ahead and break these down. So we got Bitcoin setting up, massive pump. We are at a massive macro support coming into this resistance. We see the VPVR here on the right-hand side. We've come into a lot of volume, and we've got a lot of volume on different levels as we go up, as well as previous price action. So I always want to challenge you, if you're ever coming up to a new token or a token you haven't done TA on, come out to at minimum the 3-day, but preferably like the weekly or the monthly, and get just a general view of where price has been in the past. Look to the past so that you can have some outline of what is likely in the future. If we look to the past, we can see likely price targets going to the upside. So when you do this, you just do your basic mapping, and this has a lot of TA on it, but we can actually come over here. Actually, I want to come to, let's come to, I'm just using this as a chart that we can remove all drawings, remove all indicators, and we can just look at this, okay? This is what I want you to do, because we want to set up, this is strategy to take advantage of this bull market. We want to set this up. So let's actually go, there's not enough price action on this chart. Let's come to Kraken. So we're going to remove drawing. Okay. So let's go to log scale. So what we can see, we've got at least 2 cycles. So we're just going to do the tops of these. Option J. I like to, for anybody new, I like to use quick keys here. So if I say option, I'm on a Mac. If you're on PC, I believe it's Alt. So Option J or Alt J. And there's a bunch of quick keys I'll be referencing. We're just going to do market cycle tops here. Option J. This is a horizontal ray, and we can kind of get just a general map. Now, what we can also do here is we can do Option F for a Fibonacci from the basically the top of this cycle to the bottom. We can map this out through this cycle here, and we can see that this went all the way up to the, if I delete this just for a second, this went all the way up to the 3.618. Now, if I undo that, put that line back, and we also had support when from this cycle, from the top to the bottom, this fib extension came down and found support on the 1.618. We see this, so we're seeing some sort of map about likelihood of how this is kind of an extension of yesterday's course as well, by the way. So coming here, come down to the bottom. This is a massive explosion there. So looking forward at where we're at right now, we can kind of now, I'm going to move this so we can see. There we go. Now we're going to do from the top here, Option F to the bottom. And we can see, now this is not just moon math. This is combining historical price action to give us targets. We're going to have price action levels as well as Fibonacci mapping out likelihoods of where things can go. So we have, of course, this macro resistance, and I'm going to make this lighter because this is previous price action, and I'm going to make it this. So you see when you double click on a line, you can come in here and edit things a bit to let it fit. So your screen, I'm going to make this red since it is resistance at the moment. So we've got this previous price action support coming in perfectly as resistance right now. You see how this works out. And so what we want to do is when we break above this, we've got a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here as well. So what we want to do is we can see on this macro trend for Bitcoin that we have this essentially this is a 382 right above us, and this is a relevant fib. Why do I say this? This target level right here at 35,000 is also perfectly in line with where this support was on this breakdown. So if we break above this, I'm looking for something in the region for price action to come in right in this sort of zone right here. Why do I say this zone? Because if we come over here, we see that there's wicks down. We're looking at the weekly, and we also have a 382. So we have a confluence of levels right here. And we can revisit where the momentum, where the strength, where things are going where things are going in the market at this time. And we don't need to look at this moon math and say price is moving up, so it's going to 2.618 or 3.618 at $212,000. No, we can revisit all of this stuff once we get through all of this previous price action. This basically provides us previous price action on any asset, provides you where the hurdles are for once you break down below it in a bear market. This provides you where your pit stops are going to be, where, okay, here's a little bodega that we're going to stop at to get some food. And then here we got to stop and get some gas. Okay. And then we got to come up here. Oh man, we might have to change the tires because this is the golden pocket. We need to change the oil on this asset. There might be a little bit of a pit stop, a little bit of a rejection. People need to take a nap. And then once people are recharged, the bulls are recharged, then you can push up and revisit this level again. And once you break through, then you get to retest the previous all-time high. Then once you break a previous all-time high, then you look at the broader market. You look at the broader markets. You look at the liquidity flow. You look at money flow. You look at all the indicators that we have in the BitLab trading stack, as well as MACD and RSI, whatever package of indicators you're using or combination. Don't use one indicator. Use a combination of indicators to get confluence. So once we break previous all-time high, then we're in price discovery and we can identify these targets to the upside. But as we're sitting right now, we're sitting right at a perfect level for a price action to hesitate a little bit. If we do break through, we still have a lot of work to do. So let's go ahead and then look over to our altcoins. So first up, we've already looked at our total market cap. We've seen, I'm going to go hit auto here. Let's actually look at the total too. Total 2 is everything excluding Bitcoin, but it does include Ethereum. So let's go to the weekly. Okay, we've got option T. If you're on a PC, it's Alt T, gives you a trend line. We can do a trend line here. We're going to make this a lot bolder. Why is it going to be bolder? Because it is a macro trend line, and you can come up with whatever strategy you want to do with your TA. We also, of course, have this massive falling wedge. We can see, boom, right here. Now we're pushing up against this level right here. Let's see. Yeah. So this is on the precipice of breaking out. Now we can also, we got to not just map out the chart formation that we're in. Let's look at so we want the chart formation, and then you also want to identify your price levels. So price level regions, we have one right here. Okay, I'm going to do copy paste. We've got another. So we see this price action right here. Also price interactivity in this region here. Now we're going to draw this across and look at where we're at right now. We've got a pretty big region above us right as we break out of this macro resistance here. This is for all the altcoins, including Ethereum, but we're riding right up against this. And once we break through this, we've got a little bit of work to do here. We can actually, option J, put a trend line right there. And So we can see that we've got some work to do here, but as soon as we break out of this zone, for all the altcoin market, we've got about 11% push up, likely pullback, and then the next move above that is, I mean, it's a massive move between here and here. This is a roughly 40% move up to this area. So we have a 12% move to cool off, reassess the momentum, reassess the market, what's going on. And then with the entire altcoin market, we have a 40% move. And remember, some of those coins are going to have multi 100% moves. Some coins are going to fail. Some coins are going to have, 8 to 12%. So you want to have your portfolio and have a variety of different portfolios here as a demonstration. Where is portfolio? So we can see here, we have a variety of different portfolios, and the number is not relevant. What we're looking at is the basket. We want to look at the basket of you see how this is allocated come on. You can do it. Let me know in chat right now. Are you somebody that is just a one, 2, or 3 sort of crypto holder? Do you hold 5 or more? Do you hold 10 or more coins in your portfolio? Why is this taking so long to load? Reload this right now. Okay, here we go. So this is what I'm looking at. You see how we have 35% Bitcoin, then Ethereum. It's got to a little bit less, but it's still, this is organized by size of market cap and also a little bit by conviction. So we have a basket of different stuff, store of value and transactability. Layer 1, massive, largest layer 1 smart contract solution right here, Ethereum protocol. And it has so much of the crypto space within the market is built on top of the Ethereum network. Then we have Cardano, then XRP, and then Avalanche and Algorand. We can look at this. And you can see this is not organized by, I wish we could organize this, but as we go down the list with smaller altcoins, we get smaller and smaller allocations to the portfolio. We can also see right here, this is a more simple portfolio. 45% Bitcoin, 35% Ethereum. This is for more risk averse people, a little more conservative. Why is this doing this? Come on, you can do it. Then we have Avalanche, and then Gala. So the point is, whatever your allocation in your portfolio is, however you're navigating with what's going on in the market, you want to allocate to a broad array of cryptos, not just all different layer 1 solutions, because there could be there potentially could be some regulation that crushes layer 1s. There could be. You never know what's going to happen. So have something in a little bit baskets of all this. And also, if you have a smaller portfolio, like $1,000 or less, then concentrate on 3 or 4 tokens or less. If you have $10,000 or more, you can have 4 to 10. The more coins you have, the more diligence and work you need to do to manage that portfolio. If you have, $50,000 or more, then you can have the, hopefully the majority in stronger layer one solutions in the top 10. And then you get that, 25% or more. I'm going to go ahead and switch over. My earbud just dinged at me. You can allocate based on the amount of risk exposure you have. So now looking at all these market caps, I just want to make sure, okay, everything's still good. Okay. Understanding that you need to balance these things. Some of these coins that are smaller on the coin market cap, for instance, if we come back to, this is an example of like a larger portfolio. If we come down here to something like Hedera, it might only be let's see, what is Hedera? This is only 1% of the portfolio, but this very well, H-bar could have a massive run and end up, taking up, 15 to 20% of your portfolio. So as that happens and as markets move along and you start having coins that perform insanely well, you can take some of those profits that you make from the smaller market cap coins, because these also have higher reward potential because they're smaller market caps. They can explode. And as those explode in profits, you can then hedge your bets a little bit, take profits out of those and reallocate those into more Bitcoin, into other altcoins, but always, no matter what, reallocate along the way. So these are just different examples of portfolio allocations. Don't mind any of the numbers on these, whether it's a large or smaller portfolio. I've shown you a variety of different portfolios. The point is the diversification within these portfolios. That is what we want to look at. So now that we know that the total market cap for altcoins is about to explode, now let's go back and also let's look at the head honcho, total market cap in general. Okay, where are we at on the total market cap in general? So we can see here that the total market cap, my nose is itching, is already looking like it has broken out. So if this is already broken out, this is why I'm focusing more. I don't want to say more, but this is why I'm having such an altcoin focus lately, is because Bitcoin has been mostly responsible for this breakout. Okay. Now we're seeing Dogecoin pump, and we've seen some pumps early from like Matic and GRT and some other coins like that. But what we want to capitalize on more pumps from here. So let's go ahead and do a bunch of TA on a bunch of tokens. We've got a little bit of a list. Alex and Alexander G, you can send me a few more tokens, and we're going to see where things are likely to go, what's setting up, what things are going. So if you want to do that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding that bell, join our community here, get in chat, comment below if you are watching later. Let us know what you're interested in. Let me know right now. We just started Q2, okay? Q1 just ended. Quarter one, meaning January, February, March. Comment right now, where do you think Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano are going to be at the end of Q2, which is April, May, June? At the end of June, where do you think the markets are going to be? Let me know. Comment in the chat, and also comment down below if you're watching later. So let's go ahead and jump right into this and get this going. Man. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead. You know what we should look at? We need to look at, because it had such a nice run the other day. Let's go ahead and look at XRP first. XRP USD. Okay. So let's come out. We know what our macro is. Remember, I want to remind everybody, what do we do first when we come to charts? No matter how many times we've done it. Throw it in chat if you know the answer. What do we do first? We do the 3-cycle structure. We do macro, midterm, then micro. For the sake of this stream, and we're going through a lot of coins, we know what we've done the macro a lot in the last week. So I don't want you to ignore this in your own strategy. Always make sure you come out, at least at minimum, look at the 3-day, see where price action is. If there's any levels that you potentially missed, we could see this region right here, for instance. And then Once you look at the macro, then you can come down to the midterm and see what your strategy is going to be. So we have this structure. Oh man, looking at this we can see the BitLab trading stack had four bearish divergences. By the way, I want you all to know, for anybody that's not familiar with this or doesn't really know, sometimes this looks like a very messy chart because I have it like this. I have it like this so people can see how great these divergences could be. These are not buy or sell signals, but we've got some great things in the work with the BitLab trading stack that is coming out very soon. Some updates. We're integrating the relative extrema with an addition. This will always be also be down here, but we're integrating some of these signals into the price action on the chart, so you can tell by the candles alone when a move is overheated. So you don't have to also look at both, but you can also utilize this momentum wave in the relative extrema, which a lot of people don't know. But you can come here, double click on these. These are all the different divergences that are showing weakness at these levels or strength at these levels when it's above or below. But you can double click on this flag or come over here, click on the settings, come down to show indicator names, come down to either don't show and you just see the number of divergences, very clean, or you can do shorthand, which just shows you the abbreviations. And you can also just click here, show only last divergences. It'll only show the last bull and bear divergence, keeps your chart very clean. And you can still see the high and low pivots on the chart, which are also part of BitLab Market Intelligence. And we can see right here on the 3-day that we are coming into an overheated zone, which we can tell right here by the aggregate momentum indicator right here, which is the BitLab significant movement. So this is aggregating stochastics, RSI, momentum. If there's strength, basically when things are very overheated, showing a likely trend top coming into play, or when things are very undervalued, okay, overvalued red, undervalued blue, showing a likely trend floor is coming. It doesn't mean there's gonna be a floor the second you see blue, but you use this in combination with the other signals. So we see this was leading with the relative extrema showing unhealthy move to the downside. And then we get a blue wave form right here. And then look at this, market moves to the upside. So we want to use all these in conjunction with each other, the full trading stack, similarly to when we're using MACD, RSI, stochastics, which this is only giving us 1, 2, 3 indicators. With the BitLab trading stack, we're getting all of these and a bunch of other stuff integrated into each one of the indicators. So we're getting such a wide view on the market. But even when you're using these standard indicators that are on your charts, you want to minimum get an agreement between the stochastics, the RSI, as well as seeing divergences in play, on all these indicators. So coming back over to the trading stack, what we're looking at, we saw this strong, basically push to the upside. We came into this region of previous support, a lot of price action, rejection here, support, rejection here, rejection again, once again here. And what we can see here is that this is perfectly in line with not only the bearish divergences, but also the price action on the chart. So we can use the indicators, any indicator, in conjunction with your technical analysis that you're doing on the chart. So we got the blue wave here. This was showing some bullish divergence coming in on volume, a lot of interest coming in. We're hugging this line and we have a lot of unhealthiness. Every move attempt down with the bears is unhealthy. And then we get the blue signal here, which was our final signal with the bullish divergence on relative extrema, and the low print, boom, we rock it up, break this resistance level. XRP comes up, comes into a level of not only previous, the most recent range high, but also previous price action support and resistance. So the previous price action support and resistance gave us our map in addition to, I'm gonna put only show last divergence to make the chart cleaner, to give us a roadmap that now we can find confluence with what's going on. So now here on the 3-day, now we can go to our more local time, midterm and local time frame. Here on the daily, this, although we did get a rejection here, this is also a bullish structure that it rejected into. So this rejected into the, let me undo that. There we go. Let's go ahead and look at this on, let's come down to the 4-hour. We've got a bit of a falling channel here. So we can come here just like this. We got a falling channel, which falling channels are bullish, meaning the start of the channel and the end of the channel. The end of the channel is below the start of the channel. So this is a falling channel. This is showing consolidation to the downside, which tends to have on a higher regularity a bullish breakout. Now, we're also seeing, look at this, as this is falling, there's no more of these overheated waves here on the significant movement. There's a bit of a neutral zone here that's gray, and then we start getting these blue, likely trend cycle floors. And then what happens? Push to the upside. A little bit of rejection still. Now we're getting this blue floor, and we're getting a bullish divergence on the hidden volume. And look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can just look at 6. You can also look at the number. It says 6 bullish divergences. So the MACD histogram, the relative strength index, momentum, on balance volume, money flow index, and the hidden volume, all showing bullish divergences, while this is also finding support in the market intelligence EMA cloud here that is changing colors. So we're seeing a lot of strength starting to come in, indicating that there could be a bullish breakout setup coming in for XRP. So that's what we're seeing here with XRP. So what we can do is on this move here from this low, option F, come to this to, actually, I don't want to do that. I want to do it from this move here, my bad. Option F from the top here. We're just assuming now that this is the low. If this were to continue to the upside, then what we're seeing here, let me double click on the chart, minimize those other indicators. What we're seeing here is that essentially we can come up here, this sort of channel here. This is a weird channel because there's wicks and bodies. We'll do it like this. Yeah. So if this were to break out of this area, this previous price action high, which is right, most recently, is we're also right at the 382 fib. So likely breakout, maybe retest down, or maybe a sideways accumulation here, continuation up to this. We have a strong line here, which is previous price action. There's also a volume node here with this. So in this region here, just below the golden pocket, I expect some sort of pause or cool off or temporary rejection until we come up and test this previous high of this area, which is up at the 58-cent level. So we've got a lot of potential upside here for XRP. And just on this move alone, the 1.618 is all the way up to 65 cents, whereas the 2.618 is all the way up to 76 cents. And this is something that this is not, years and months out. If this were to break out, I mean, look at the time of this move. The time of this move, this was only one day. We're on the 4-hour, but the time of this move, let's do from here. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna do it from right here. This was a 6-day move, and this move was 41%. Now, if we go from here, what would be the move from here up to the 2.618? That would be roughly 53%. So this would be a very strong move for XRP if it were to happen. So what I'm looking at is actually what's going on with the price levels. What is going on with the price levels? And okay, look at this. 2.618 in line with the volume node here, also in line with where there's a lot of price action in this region. So what this is telling me is if this is going to break out from this zone here, then I'm looking at some work to be done in this previous price action range that we have here. But if we come back out, let's look at the volume gaps, see if there's any volume gaps. So we're seeing right now where price action is right here. So yeah, if this were to break out, it's looking like it's going to, I mean, this is very strong movement. So we're either going to consolidate here, frustrate the life out of people, get a washout to the downside, then continuation up, or get some sort of positive news that comes with XRP, get a very strong move up. And I'm not just going to let it go from there, but this is sort of my target is in this region here. We can see, I would say, let's go ahead and draw a box in this region right here, where you can see previous highs. Look at this, rejection, support. So the Fibonacci isn't ever going to be your end all be all. It can give you an idea and you're like, well, will that idea potentially work? Well, zoom out and see things aren't going to hit exactly on the line, but this is showing where the potential is based on the movement of the recent range. And then we can see on this from this breakdown, see where there's any confluence here. This is the main. Yeah, so from this breakdown here, we can see that there is a golden pocket. There's a golden pocket from this breakdown that if we came up into is basically, it's right in the middle of where this low volume range is, but there's a lot of work to be done in this region. So as this moves up, we've seen that there's so much pent up bullish volatility within Bitcoin, within XRP, that if there is positive news, that this very likely has a lot of energy and velocity movement to move it. So from this range down, this 2.618 just from this small move that we had is also perfectly in line with the 786 of this move down. So there's a strong possibility on this next move up that in this region of essentially 70 cents up to 76 cents is a target that I'm looking at to the upside for XRP. Now let's go ahead and look at quite a few more. We got so algo. Let's definitely do algo. I'm looking at the list that the mods sent me over. Have you hit the like button? Have you hit that subscribe button? Have you ding that bell? We've only got about 37% of the people that are part of the community that have dinged the notification bell. We've got I'm actually doing an interview this afternoon that's going to be released later this week. We've got a bunch of other content that's coming to this channel. So get involved with our community. Join us here over at BitLab Academy. Just be a part of our community. Come on. It's a great community. So now looking here at algo, let's go out to the 3-day. Let's hit the auto button. Let's see where we're at. So, okay. We've got some interesting trend lines here. I'm going to mute all indicators. I'm going to remove this so I can see more clearly. I can see clearly now. My list is gone. So there's going to be a couple trend lines that we need to pay attention to. So there's been this sort of trend line here that has been rejection, support, interaction, rejection, rejection. So when price action comes back up on Algorand right here, what we're looking at, let's look at our momentum indicators. Let's move our little box there. We can see here that there's a blue wave forming. We're on the 3-day blue wave. And look at this bullish divergence on the hidden volume. This is one of the most underused indicators within the BitLab trading stack. This hidden volume right here, as you see, the BitLab hidden volume, these bearish divergences showing quantifiable lack of interest in volume trading at this level. And it's decreasing as price is holding or moving up at that level. Look at this. Basically very in line with moves down, very in line with move down. Now the green, the bullish divergences on hidden volume, and this has not, it's already started to make a move, but it's still showing there's more interest here than the move is allowing for. And we're getting this basically trend cycle blue wave here that's showing a likely, what do we call it? Trend cycle low, undervalued at this level. So let's come down to the 4-hour chart. Let's go to auto. Okay, so we had this trend line right here. This is on the 4-hour that we've broken out of. We had the smaller falling wedge here, broke bullish out of. There's a lot of fake outs in the markets at these parts in the start of a bullish trend. So we had this did break out as intended. 70%, roughly 70% of the time, falling wedges break out to the upside. And this did break out to the upside only to collapse down. But now we've established this trend right here that we are pushing above right now. And the only thing the caveat I want to show right here is we see the relative extrema is poking out to the upside. We got the blue wave right here. We can see this blue on the bottom. And we formed a W formation right here, which is essentially, let me pull up my favorites. This is basically, come on. W formations are basically double bottoms, and they indicate likelihood of going to the upside. However, what has to happen is you see right in this region, this sort of neckline right here of when this broke down, this resistance here. Now we came up to this resistance here, could not form a new high on a candle closure. If this gets rejected here, then this is forming a different pattern than a double bottom. This could be a consolidation sideways. It could be a consolidation breakdown. We don't know yet. But as it stands right now, looking at the 3-day, we do have the blue wave with the bullish volume, but we have the relative extrema showing it's a little overheated. The bullish action is a little overheated. So we need to take that into account. Looking at the daily, we've got a neutral flash on the significant movement. I'm going to move this. Okay, we need to look at this. The wave, the aggregate momentum wave did flip to the downside, but it looks like it may have been a little bit of a fake out because we see this wave sharply coming back to the upside. Let's see what it looks like on the 12-hour, 8-hour. We're getting a look. Okay, there's some indecision in the market, almost like a inverse head and shoulders on the aggregate momentum wave on relative extrema. But look at this, immediate unhealthy bullish action right here. This is on the 4-hour. So let's come down to the 2-hour. We're looking at our health. Look at it. The relative extrema is the health of movement of individual, basically price action movement on bars within a trend. Now we're seeing basically indecision, out to the downside, out to the upside, out to the downside. So on Algorand right now, we're looking at 24-minute. Okay, it's trying to roll over, but now unhealthy to the downside. So with Algorand, I'm looking at likely, as much as I hold a bit of Algorand, although this is broken out, what this can indicate, that indecision, and this is not a bad thing. What do we usually like to see for healthy movements on price action when we're setting up for trying to make good entries on targets? We don't want to just immediately try to front run a breakout, because that's when a lot of times you try to front run this breakout and this drives down, and you capitulate because the market can continues going down. You want this to break out and then come back and test this and then break out. And for healthy, consistent, profitable trades over time, what we like to see is when this happens, let's go ahead and zoom in on this. I'm going to press command and boom. Okay. What we want to see is this to come out, come back and test. We're going to go on a smaller time frame just so that, there we go. Just come out, come back and test it. And aggressive, very aggressive traders, which I don't recommend, is you buy the breakout, but you don't have any confirmation that this is not a fake out. Like we see right here, this broke out. You would have been faked out and this would have came back down. So poor strategy would have had you losing money. So right here with this breaking out, we want to see as this is rolling over, we want to watch for this to if this is going to come down and fully test this, retest this downtrend resistance and give confirmation that this is flipped to support, in which the conservative entry is when we break this high from this level right here. The more aggressive entry is when you've retested this and you're seeing strong momentum and you buy somewhere around here. Now, a very aggressive entry on this that's still a little bit more conservative than just buying this breakout is having this, as soon as this touches this and you're seeing a shift in trend on a smaller time frame. On this case, we're looking at 2-hour. So we come down to like the 24-minute. And let's pretend the price action has come down to this level. And you see that there's a bullish divergence forming or volume coming in at that level. And then you can buy that entry. But as you can see, the more aggressive you are, the more attuned to risk management and attuned to technical signals and putting those together to get good data and to make smart trade decisions. Now with this, what we would do is take this long position. Let's say right here, let's go back on the conservative, you'd be buying the break above this level. Then you can come here and you put a risk management tool on the risk reward here. And you can see, this is if you're trading spot. Say your entry is, the candle body breaking back above that. And your target would be, let's see, price action targets. Let me first delete this. So come down here, option F, come down to the low. And we can see that, and we would be thinking about laddering out. So taking some profits roughly at the golden pocket, letting some ride all the way up to the previous top here, taking, roughly 30% out here, taking another 30% out here, putting in your hodl bag, putting in your, not hodl bag, sorry, your dry powder bag to deploy if there is any other dips and then leaving the rest while also moving your stop loss up as we go. And in this case, this is a spot trading strategy in this case, because in this case, we're having about a 2.5 stop loss, which comes down just below where this previous resistance support level is. So if this breaks down and actually breaks below that, then you'd be stopped out. But in this case, we have a 3.55. So this is a good, a healthy ratio, and you're taking some profits along the way. You're laddering out, but you're also waiting for the confirmation of this breakout. Now, if you're doing it more aggressive, then you can, and I don't recommend, none of this is financial advice. This is learn from years of experience of different strategies that we can utilize. So let's zoom in on this again. Coming in here, if you were doing this on the more aggressive strategy I was talking about, this is coming down and we see the bounce has happened, then what we would do then here is we would allow ourselves to have a stop loss just below this previous low right here. So that way you have a little bit of downside. You only have a 1.3% drop. You have a buffer there of this, you thought it was going up and then it reverses, it comes down, you get stopped out at that level. But your reward, even just coming to the golden pocket, is a 4.99, which is a great, it's a great ratio. Now, if we come all the way up to the previous high, we can see for the other 30 or 40% or however your trading strategy is trading, that's 11% gain to, it's a basically 9 to 1, 10 to 1, 12 to 1, 11-ish to 1, a lot of numbers, ratio here, because we've got 1.3% loss for a potential of a just shy of 12% gain here. So you see how you can use the breakouts, conservative structure, conservative strategy, and risk management tools, as well as the previous price action, to give you a map with technical tools like the Fibonacci extension and retracement, as well as a basically basket of different trading and technical indicators to allow you to set the things up to give you a map. Now let's do another one. We got we did it. Should we do Ethereum, QNT, or GRT next? That's what I have on my list. I'm going to wait a few seconds for y'all to hear that. Whichever I see the majority of flying in chat here first is the next one I'm going to do. But I want you just to make sure when you're trading, you're not making emotional decisions. You see the setups brewing. You see these things setting up, and you get in position and identify, well, based on the technical indicators and the momentum and what my awareness and what my experience level is with strategy, I'm trading this conservative strategy. I'm waiting for it to break out of this. I'm waiting for a small pullback and then breaking that high for my entry. Okay, what does that look like? Map it out on the chart. Look for what you want to do and have an action plan. Otherwise, you will be held hostage by your emotions, which means you'll be held hostage by perpetual losses in the market. So Cardano or Ethereum was the ones that I saw. So we are going to do, why am I doing that when I have it right here? So let's go ahead and pull up Ethereum. Where is my ETH? All right, Bitstamp. Oh, looking for some strong plays here. Option. Okay, now let's come out 3-day. Looking at. Okay, we got this massive downtrend. Broke out, and look at the signal with the 6, 8 bullish divergences was signaling this movement is not a healthy movement to the downside. This would have been an awesome buying the dip opportunity signaled by the BitLab trading stack. Looking at the rest of this, we also see the relative extrema sticking out to the downside. This was neutral. So we had 8 bullish divergences. We finally got the low print there, which would have been the trigger in combination with the relative extrema that we can see right here. So now this is the 3-day. Let's come down to the 4-hour. Let's see where we're at. We got a trading channel that we've kind of been bouncing in right here. We can see that we did sort of break out to the downside, but I'm going to mute this real quick. And we can see that we've got a bit of an ugly inverse head and shoulders. And we can see, I'd already mapped this out when I did TA the other day. This would be the target right here. And this would be roughly if this breaks out, roughly a 33% breakout. Is this Ethereum USD? All right. Yeah. So Ethereum is setting up. And why is this? We also have to ask ourselves, what's one of the reasons? It's not just the technical indicators, but there's also a lot of narrative around Ethereum right now because of the Shanghai hard fork, I guess they call it, where they're upgrading and they're going to be unlocking a lot of the ETH that has been staked, that's been locked up while they've been undergoing this massive change from proof of work to proof of stake. And so we've got a lot of stuff going on with Ethereum right now. So does this mean you should just be all in? And then the second it pulls out, you get out? No, there's going to be some volatility in Ethereum because there's going to be a push up, likely a push up coming into that news and that Shanghai upgrade. But there very likely could be some sort of sell-off in that as well. So you need to have a clear strategy in mind. If you're swing trading this push to the upside, then when you get the signals to take your profits, if you don't already have your target set, then you take profits, let it pull back a little bit, and then you reload, and then you're in better position with a larger amount of assets for the next push up. Now, when we look at this on let's look at the 2 hour coming in here. Okay, 2 hour, we're coming up to this neckline. You see this neckline right here, and we're getting an overheated symbol, which is I can just tell just because we can see the red and blue waves. It's very easy to use the BitLab trading stack for that. For anybody that's interested in this, and we are doing some great upgrades to these indicators, also make them a little more beginner friendly. So you'll have options with the more technical stuff as well as more beginner friendly signals that you're going to be able to see. But come over to bitlabacademy.com. Fill in your email here. Join the newsletter. You're gonna find out when a lot of these updates are coming out for all the new course content. Which guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am for all this. On-chain data analysis, trading fundamentals, trading strategies, psychology of trading, candles course, candle patterns course, from technical analysis to psychology to chart formations to strategies to. There's on-chain data analysis, fundamental analysis, quantitative and qualitative, so much, all brand new courses, brand new website, all coming to BitLab Academy. When you see this new website versus this is when you know it went live. So come get involved. And if you want any of the indicators, you can come over here to bitlabacademy.com/indicators, sign up, get involved with the indicators right here. This is a full stack. This is all the indicators that I've been sharing here. But I just want you to have a strategy in place. And we see this is pushing up. We can see, I'm going to delete this real quick. We see that this is looking overheated on the significant movement. Trend is overbought, a little bit overheated. We look on the relative extrema. We see these bars are sticking out and the momentum is shifting to the downside. And we're also seeing that we did have a little bit of, we had a MACD histogram as well as the money flow index, bearish divergence. If we come down to a smaller time frame, let's see what flashes. Chaikin money flow, bearish divergence, also overheated. Also, we can see this rounding to the downside. Let's come down to the 24-minute. Also overheated. So likely, but here's a caveat. Here's a deviation. We see overheated, but look at this move to the downside. This is showing strong bullish pressure on the smaller time frame. As the move is trying to be pushed down, there's more bullish pressure in this move than is reflected in the chart. So we're seeing although the momentum is coming down, there's a lot of hidden strength, bullishness coming in behind this. So we need to keep an eye on ETH right now. This may be a dip buying opportunity if we do get a further pullback. We are above on the 24-minute. We are above the EMA ribbon, but we are finding a little bit of a dip in support. If this does break down from where we're at right now, which is 1857, coming down to the 1830s. We have a volume node here, but this is also, let's get a little bit more data. So if we lose this level where we're at here, I'd be looking for definitely dip buying opportunity down at the 1830 level. But where everything is, it's coming up, it's hugging this neckline. We're seeing a lot of the signals for coins in the around the system. Let's look at Cardano really quick. We got to look at our Cardano. Where's it at? Boom, Cardano. Here we go. So looking here really quick, we're doing some quick runs here. Oh man, look at this. We got 7 bullish divergences this is on the 24-minute chart. So on this pullback, the bears, market makers, they're trying to shake people out. They're pushing this down, but we're seeing this is flash neutral. Relative extreme is way out. We have 7 bullish divergences on Cardano right now with this push down. This is on the 24-minute chart. Looking more specifically at the 4-hour chart, we have this range that we've been trading in, but we also have Ooh, it looks like there's a little bit of a, not quite an inverse head and shoulders, but it's somewhat similar formation. But we do have this resistance line. If this comes back up here and breaks out of this, then what we would be doing is looking for a retest. If we extend this out, a retest up here of this zone up here at the 43 cents level up here. This is what I'm seeing for Cardano. So we want to not just look at price action. Price action just gives you where the targets are going to be and where you're entering and exiting. What you want to look to on your charts is a variety of technical data in line also with the price action, previous price action, to give you that map of what's going on in the market. Looking at GRT, we can see right here, we've got, option T. Let me see. We've got this, the reason I'm doing this and not on the tops, we see rejection, rejection, rejection. And then this was writing down on this, okay? So looking at this right here, coil tightened to this zone right here. If this were to break out, then the next level I'd be looking at, just because of the most obvious thing, we have a volume gap right here as well as a previous low right here. In addition to that, we can take from this range, option F to the bottom. We can see that this low range gives us a region now. Now we have a region of this low range as well as this full, the low of this right here, previous price action low above us. We had the volume gap. And we have, so this price action level as well as a Fibonacci of this full breakdown, the golden pocket. So this zone right here is the zone that I would be targeting for a move to the upside for GRT, which is roughly let's see, 146%. Now, this is not going to happen overnight. This is looking at the 3-day chart. Let's look more locally. So we are in this zone right here. Looking at the zone. Okay. So we've got the relative extreme as a little overextended. We're getting some bearish divergences. So we have a little bit more work to do. Let's look at the daily. Okay. Yeah. So we've got a blue wave starting to form. We can see this right here. See that blue wave starting to flash? So we got the blue wave starting to flash. We're seeing the relative extreme with all the bearish moves to the downside. A lot of this sticking out to the downside. So there was a battle here, but now we're getting the blue wave starting to form. So let's come down to the 1 hour, see what's going on. We're getting an attempt, but we're right at this level. We got volume node right where we're at, point of control, 6 bearish divergences. Maybe it's not the time yet for GRT. If this does push through, then I'm looking at a move up to 1465. This is going to be a point where then we look at for revisit for a potential breakout. Once we're here, then we can reassess what our strategy is to go to the upside. But what we'd like to see is the price action on GRT, the graph, to come up. Where's my brush? To come up. Have a little hesitation, break out, come down, and then go. That's what we want to see. We could trade that conservatively, breaking this previous high right here, or the retest if we are a custom, healthy, risk-managed, strategy-minded traders. Man, 107. We had a lot of people in here today. Still 172, 185 likes. Let's hit that like button on the way out. I love, respect, and appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. Make sure that you come over to the BitLab Academy daily, basically post right here. Where is it? Make sure you come over here, retweet this post from today, April 4th. On Friday, we'll be drawing from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're watching this at any point, whether it's live or later, come and retweet these daily streams because you get entered to win a variety of different stuff, which we'll be spinning for on Friday. Big love and respect to all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. My name is Kellam. Thank you for being part of BitLab Academy community. Have a good afternoon. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hit that like button, subscribe, and be my friend. Adios, everybody.